Episode 166. Warning, this show contains adult language, not adult content. I guess that's nudity. I didn't really think about it. So that's my homeschooled, no-schooled education. But yeah, I want to warn you guys that no, there is no nudity yet. I'm working on that. Just kidding. But no, it's adult language here, so viewer and listener discretion is advised. This is... I'm coming live to you guys from my F-350 pickup truck. And today's episode, as I said, 166, if I said that right, and Recession, Great Reset, Rant. And that's the noise in the background, guys. That's about acting your wage. It's about trying to do whatever you can within the parameters and to make shit happen. There's a lot of bitching and complaining and crying, and I'm not here to beat you guys up. I am your ambassador. But we got to change shit up, guys. We got to change this shit up. Where's this coming from? What's going on? Why are things the way they are? Why do certain things just suck, right? Why do a lot of things suck? Well, I got news, guys. I think we've allowed ourselves to be conditioned this way. There's a lot of people right now going out there with their hands out, looking for money, stimulus checks and things like that. And as the saying goes from economists all over the globe, well, at least here in the United States, is that the government's just kicking the can down the road, right? Sooner or later, you keep walking up the trail, you're going to keep finding that can. If you don't do something with it, sooner or later, you're going to have to open it up and see what's inside. And I'm not sure we all are going to enjoy what's actually inside. But that's what's going on right now. And I believe that a lot of us externalize and point our fingers at the government, and this reminds me of a bunch of children who are looking for their, I did my chores, I did a good boy, a good girl. Now don't I get my, what is that? What the fuck? I hate when I don't have my words. Basically when parents give their kids fucking money, Jesus, I can't get my head straight this morning. I think it's the cold temperatures, man. It's like 35 degrees. Allowances, there we go. But how did we get here? Well, let's jump into it. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life for both people and planet through liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. And one of the comments was that a lot of people are looking more, instead of thriving, they're looking just how do we survive at this point. And I think that's really sad, but don't beat yourself up. The thing I'm going to ask is straight up. We got to there's no fluff. Let's stop the fluff. Guys, I'm your ambassador here, as I said. I live tiny. I live in a fucking RV. I don't even live in a tiny house, all right? Let's get real. Can we get real? I think that you guys got to get your mindset right. I live very simple. My truck's paid off for. That's what you're hearing me podcast in. Do I even have a studio? Fuck no, I don't. I tried to do a show last week in my trailer. I thought I was alone until my oldest daughter came home. And she stomps right in and interrupts the show, and I don't mind. I love my children, but, there's a time when daddy's got to get his show on and he needs privacy. So there's no privacy. What do? Instead of going, well, fuck it, I just can't podcast. I podcast in the front of my truck. I'll lock myself in here sometimes late at night or at the butt crack of dawn. I'll get up super early for you guys and make these shows. And it's for me, too, because I love doing them. But I work with what I can, right? You got to get that mindset straight. You got to stop acting like a child and looking out, beating yourself up. I'm not here to beat you guys up. If we're going to move forward, if we're going to really figure this shit out, we need to jump on and we need to get right to the problem. And I think that the problem is me and you. And I know that's a hard dress to wear for a day, but you guys got to think about it. A lot of us, well, I know we got listeners from different parts of the world. I don't know what's going on there, but at least here in the United States, if you're not doing something about all this stuff, if you don't realize that you do have freedoms and you have a choice to either sit here and look for a job, deal with this recession and all this reset stuff and not be prepared, that's your choice. You don't have to. We got a lot of stuff that we can do. So we're going to talk about some of those things right now. I just got a few things on the list here. I usually organize these things for you guys so I don't trail off too far, but today I'm just a little passionate, a little pissed off with the whole situation, and I'm scared. I'm fucking scared for a lot of people. But let's talk about the third industrial revolution. I watched this show probably about 2, 3, maybe even 4 years ago. For those of you who have access to YouTube, check it out. Watch it. This guy, there's people that have been saying this for many, many years, and it's kind of common sense. One of the things that they spoke about in there was horse and buggy. You know, the second industrial revolution. You know, or the first. I can't remember which one that was. I think it was the second. Yeah, it's got to be the second. And this guy don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's rambling on, man. He's like the president of the United States right now. Just making up shit. No, so the story goes is that they had horse and buggies, you know, so that created a lot of jobs. There was people needed to pick up horse shit. There was people needed to be a veterinarian. You know, horses were used for everything, for a lot of shit, right? To plow fields. And then lo and behold, here comes the steam engines and here comes the cars, you know, to drive around. Next thing you know, it's common sense that we no longer need those horses. And with those horses goes a whole entire flank of series of jobs and necessities. Usefulness gets thrown down the fucking toilet. And guess what? A lot of these people who know how to amend a horse's broken leg or administer shots or shovel horse shit and repaired buggy wheels and stuff like that, you know, they're asked out. Now they got to learn, well, can I learn auto mechanics? I have no fucking clue. And there's this, you know, can you guys even imagine? You know, I think it's kind of like today when we look at AI and computers and shit like that, where some of us have some savvy, but I think the majority of us, if someone said, can you build me a computer clown? You'd go, oh shit, I don't know what the fuck, where even to start, right? It's like, it seems that complicated. But I guess the point I want to make with the third industrial revolution, revolution in general, there's always revolutions. There's always things that change. And if you don't think that that's going to happen, I think you're kind of lost, man. Nature teaches this all the time. There's 100-year, 1,000-year, once-in-a-lifetime fires, earthquakes, natural events that happen that'll just fucking eliminate like an entire portion of land and species. And then those species, new stuff comes. As for instance, as I've said on the show before, is there are seeds that wait for a forest fire. They've been dormant for hundreds of years. And all of a sudden, when a fire comes, it wakes these seeds up and plants grow that you have never seen there in, say, a century. So some things have happened before. And I think with this reset and everything, I think it's actually necessary. I think that to keep this thing alive, we got to keep moving shit around. Just look at the common sense of the overpopulation, how many people we have being born and the systems that are in place. I think that the powers that be, that we give them a lot of credit, that they know what the fuck they're doing. I think they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. I think they do to an extent. They keep trying things, you know, they put stuff together. I don't know, they're pretty fucking smart people, but I think we give them more credit than what they deserve. But the thing is we got to keep moving forward, and I think I want to move this towards. I got on my notes here, mindset, and I think that if you do not get this in your mindset, if you don't get it that you are your capabilities to know who you are, that a lot of this stuff comes from within. It becomes for you to have gratitude for yourself, gratitude for the world, gratitude for money, all of these things, to have respect, to have understanding. And I think that the worst thing, especially here in the United States, is a lot of people got their egos in the fucking way. They're worried about looking bad for their family. Look at me, I live in a house. Look at dummy Adrian over there who lives in a trailer, man. He's fucking poor, you know? What's going on? Meanwhile, these people are hanging by a fucking thread. They're not acting their wage. And they're losing. And when this shit goes down, they're going to look pretty fucking stupid. There's a lot of people who are going to look dumb for what? You're doing a bunch of shit for family. I'd say, yeah, maybe, okay, I could kind of understand that. I'm not endorsing it. But if you're trying to look good for your neighbors, your friends, and things like that, I mean, I don't know. I've said this one over and over again. And I remember in my younger years, I got very irritated when you'd ask for advice, especially from old timers, and you'd have to listen to the whole spiel, the whole story. Or some fucking asshole like me just keeps pointing it back at you, personally, saying it's your mindset. You got to get what's up here right. Let me give you guys some examples of what I see going on around me. Is a lot of people work very, very hard. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people are stressed out. This comes in their incentives for themselves. Got a hair in my throat. Let me clear that out. Their incentives for themselves is to treat themselves. So they'll go out and have fancy dinners. They'll order pizza because they're tired. You know, I came home, I was tired. And a goddamn pizza nowadays, guys, is like a decent pizza is like $30 for like a large pizza, you know? Something yummy, something good. And these people are just blowing all their money away. They don't have any like recession savings. They don't have any emergency funds. You know, and they just start living day by day, and they figure, what the fuck? Tomorrow we eat for tomorrow, you know, enjoy today for tomorrow we die. Well, guess what, guys? A lot of us still here. I've been fucking saying the same thing. Life keeps happening. I've heard a lot of stories with like so-called smart people who sound really fucking smart, not a dummy fucking ape like me. And they're calling for all this shit to happen, and guess what? Didn't happen. How many times do we all got to hear this story? And look around us at the lemmings, at the sheeple, and what everybody's doing to realize, you know, maybe this ain't going to happen. Maybe life's going to keep going on. And as I said, these systems in place. If everything's so fucking great, then why are your friends suffering? Why is your family suffering? Why is the majority, maybe not everybody suffering, but why is the majority of people suffering? Or where did they go? What did they do? They're looking for help, for a system, instead of creating their own systems. And I think that's the saving grace. Get your mindset. Get yourself honed in to look, you do not deserve to spend all your fucking money. You don't deserve to own all of these things. We have next week's podcast coming out. We're actually in a few days here. And I've been really on this notion of invest in a business, not a house. You deserve not to have a house. You deserve to have an income stream coming in that's great enough so that you can own a house comfortably instead of being in stress. And to know that you're not going to lose all that shit. Maybe you can place your savings towards creating yourself a new business or organizing your life. God damn, there's so much shit that we could put on the show. But yeah, guys, you got to get that mindset down, and you got to realize that you're your own worst enemy. You know, in a lot of cases, not all of you. And quit. You know, let's just get a bird's eye view, meaning a macro instead of a micro. See, we all start sitting here. We start having problems. We start getting stressed and everything. And then a lot of us just lose it, I think. We just all want to just drink alcohol and, you know, get high, smoke some weed, do whatever it is that you do. Just not even think about it anymore until you start zeroing in. And when we start zeroing in, there's just so much to it. It's so complicated, it seems, that we get stuck in the micro. And then we can't even see what's going on around us. We're just stuck in those problems. If you learn to exercise yourself, to be able to disassociate yourself, separate yourself from all these problems and all these things, and know that you have control of your mind and your body and your emotions, and a lot of what's going on around you, including this recession and this reset. You have control of things, not all of it, but you got to focus on what you do have control of. Exercise this muscle so that you can sit back and you can start watching it, as I say. Watch the monster, watch the enemy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Watch the hurdle, you know. The fence post in your way. Watch what happens. Study it. Watch the way it moves, and then think about many scenarios. What can I do to prepare myself, or what can I do to eliminate this obstacle that's in your way, and figure out what to do with it. You got to calm that mind down. I think that we need to think usefulness. God damn, I wish these shows could go down longer, guys. My budget's not really affording to do these, but. My last note on here is usefulness. And what I mean by usefulness is in your job, right? A lot of people are thinking, well, what do I do? Where do I go get a job? How do I reapply? What do I train myself? Or I need to get retrained. You know what? If you need to get retrained and you need to figure all this stuff out, you haven't been thinking systems thinking, as I'd like to share on this show. You haven't got your mindset right because you have been working so busy and probably enjoying a plateau, right? I'm not here to beat you up. I'm just saying this is how we're going to fix you to get you out of here. You've been on a vacation, basically. Boy, I'm beating you guys up. Sorry about that, man. No, but you guys been on an easy street, a lot of you. And all you chose was to get to the path of least resistance. And you weren't looking around you. You weren't observing things to notice that, you know what? My job could be replaced. You know, you were enjoying today for tomorrow you die. And now you're still here. And that's the pain of it. And the pain is that this is just going to keep going on and on and on until we change this shit. So when I say usefulness, I mean this in every aspect. I mean this in business, in spirituality, in everyday life, in your money, in the way you run your home, your lifestyle design. Isn't it common sense that everything should be useful, right? And when I say useful, it doesn't mean just strictly business. Everything should be a tool. It should all do something. When you take off and you go into nature, that to me is a tool. It releases your brain. It gets you comfortable so that you can get that vantage point, as I was saying a little earlier. That's a tool. That's taking care of yourself. To do some meditation, to go ground yourself, as they call it. Walk barefoot in the soil. Go lay naked, butt-ass naked in a fucking stream, man. I'm telling you guys, in the middle of the woods everywhere, you know, it's a pee-pee. Everybody's got one. Don't be fucking embarrassed, you know. But no, seriously, guys, it feels so good to at least just put your feet in the ocean or your feet in the stream or in the dirt. I mean, bury them in there like a plant. That's another thing we're going to talk about is disassociation, the denaturement, if that's even a word, the denaturism of human nature. But all of these things, I want to get back on point. These are all tools. And I think that in order for a job, you got to start systems thinking in your mind. If I'm going to move towards something else, a different occupation, what is it that could be necessary? How could it not be automated? And even then, I'm pretty damn sure all of us can't think of everything. I'm not even saying I can't. I don't have all the answers to everything. I don't know what each individual is doing, but please tell me the things I'm saying make sense. If they don't, then comment below because we have upandinitshow@gmail.com. Just tell me how full of shit I am and that none of this stuff works. It doesn't make sense, and here's the right way, because I would love to hear some other people's aspects on this, because we got a lot of people that need help. And if you think you can help them and you can do a better job than me, or you've got some ideas, maybe not even necessarily a better job, you just got different ideas, send them my way, man. But yeah, you guys got to figure this shit out as soon as possible. You guys got to start making yourself a lot more useful. I think you need to diversify. God damn, is there a lot of shit that we can talk about on this show. But we need to diversify. We need to open ourselves up to many possibilities. We've got to move with the time. So look what happened with the Industrial Revolution, taking it back to the first thing we said, where they replaced horses with cars. Eventually, people found their way and they made some shit happen. That's what we got going on right here. And we will continue. And this is part of what I don't like about public education, is a lot of people aren't taught this. And that's why we have so many people fucking suffering. And I'm sorry that I bashed the public education system, but as I say, as parents, as teachers, as elders, we have an epidemic of fucking elders in this world, I think, that don't know their asshole from a hole in the fucking ground. And I don't mean that out of any disrespect, other than I want to change my life to be able to help the younger people when I'm an old ass fucking man, and to be able to listen and change things around. But our job as elders, as parents, as teachers, is to train these young individuals who are all going to become adults, and stop treating them like they're little tiny people. You know, to an extent they are, but when you treat them like adults, like an equal, because we are all equals, you'll get to them. Stop fucking pounding them in the head, and stop trying to make them memorize fucking a bunch of shit. How much shit could you memorize in a 4-year, 12-year span? Do it for like a couple months. Try to memorize a bunch of fucking words and see how good you are, right? But anyways, it's our job to have these kids survive, to teach them how to make money, how to defend themselves, how to produce their own food, the difference between toxic food and health, nutrition, things like this Great Recession. If you're going to teach history, let's look back. How many things have happened? Guys, there's a recession, there's a Great Reset. We could be hit by a fucking comet. We could be heading towards an ice age. We could be heading towards a heating age. There's so much shit that could fucking happen. Right? It's not just the recession. It's not just this epidemic and this COVID shit and everything. There's so much that can come. And we need to prepare ourselves. And as I said, usefulness. Apply usefulness in your life. Start systems thinking this way. I mean, my God, I think a lot of people have been led astray. They've allowed themselves to be led astray. They just don't know where to even fucking start. And I think that you guys need to start from square one. You need to start thinking for yourselves. I don't know. I don't have all the answers for everybody, but you got to think about where you're at. Your food, the way you eat, you produce your food, the way you buy your food, the way you cook your food, your stress level, your children, your community. Start building community. You know, everyone thinks that everybody can do stuff by themselves. How far is that getting us? It ain't getting us very fucking far. So there's a lot. I don't know. I guess I'm getting a little too passionate about this one. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. If I did, then hey guys, we got to get fucking real here. So I don't know. I got some shows coming down the pipe here. I've got to leave this one. We're almost going on 20 minutes here. I want to talk about coming up is building community, like how recession survival in my eyes. What would I do? I would build a community of people, and I want to talk about exactly how I would do that, from power, water, and energy, clothing, housing, food, and all kinds of different stuff. Like that one, I might try to go overboard on. I also want to talk about the denatured human nature, how we're exactly what we're talking about today. And I guess I'm blabbering off about it. Let's just record the fucking show and then put it on for you guys. So you guys, thanks for putting up with my shit, listening to my show. I hope that I can help you guys. If you guys really, if you guys need to get a hold of me, if you guys have specific stuff you guys want to hear, you guys have some criticism you want to set my way, it's upandinitshow@gmail.com. You guys can email me. Everything's in the description below. And if you guys don't mind, go and review this podcast. Get it going on iTunes and all that kind of shit, because we've got some listeners and views, not much views on YouTube. You know, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. But I'm going to stop posting on YouTube and all that stuff because we're not really getting any momentum. You know, I might just take it easy. I got a life too that I can go right now. I can leave all of this shit and really take a long-ass mini retirement. For those of you guys who don't know, I do mini retirements every single year. My goal as of I've been working on this for about 3-4 years. It's not like it just landed in my lap. It took me about 3 years, 4 years to organize this, where I was able to make enough money to cover an entire year of living expenses. And that's what 2021 is for me. I'm pretty tired. I'm getting pretty stressed out, pretty bent. I think I'm overextending myself by doing so much work. I'm starting new businesses and things like that. But, you know, it was been the thought of my mind of like, why don't you just take a month off, you know? So I might leave you guys for a month. I don't know. I don't think I can, because I love doing these shows. And I'm not threatening or anything like that. I'm just saying I definitely could use a break. But it really lights the fire in my heart and in my ass when you guys when you guys comment and when you guys review. If the show started really taking off, you know, if you guys want it to be around for a long time, that's what we need. We need listeners and stuff, so I can at least pay for the costs that it costs me to make this show, you know, to host it and all that stuff. But I'm going to be here. I'm in a good place. I'm going to do it for you guys anyways. Maybe we'll do 2021 here. I may take a month break off here. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, I'm blabbering off again. It's Up and In It Show. Check it out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere where they'll let me blabber my fucking mouth off. And as I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it. Own it, my friends.